Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Sue Sheehy with Dun & Bradstreet, and I'll be moderating the session today. We certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to join us to discuss how taking a data-driven analytic approach can help accelerate sales in the B2B marketplace. D&B is very pleased to be joined by our customer, Comerica Bank. We have a long-standing valued relationship, and between Dun & Bradstreet and Comerica today, we're going to be sharing some tricks of the trade, if you will, when it comes to identifying the highest value targets. Whether that be for new acquisition, cross-sell or upsell initiatives, we're going to talk about a proven approach that it seems to be working across the life cycle of the customer. As we think about how we plan to hit what I'm sure are very aggressive growth targets that we all have, we realize that doing things the old way, whether that's using the same selection criteria that we've used in the past or leaving it up to our sellers to know their customers and the changes that are taking place in their territories, we must also think about new innovative ways to reach those highest quality targets and avoid going back to the same list of suspects with our sales and marketing efforts. So no doubt we could all benefit from higher conversion rates, higher close rates, and ultimately larger degrees of sales growth. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on today. So over the next 30 minutes, you're going to hear from Prachi and John. Prachi is a senior leader with Dun & Bradstreet in the Advanced Analytics Group. For those of you on the phone that are not familiar with Dun & Bradstreet, we've been around for nearly 2 centuries, and we're the leading provider of data, insight, and analytics. We primarily help our customers make better decisions and build their most valued relationships. Our data and analytics solutions are used by our customers in many areas, primarily master data management, enterprise analytics, sales and marketing, trade credit, and supply and comply. Within the advanced analytics area, Prachi and her team help our customers develop and deploy predictive modeling solutions to improve their KPIs. We're so pleased that John, our client, could join us. He's the Senior Vice President of Data Strategy and Analytics at Comerica Bank. Comerica has also been in business for well over 165 years. They've had a very successful run in the financial services industry, and they offer business banking, personal banking, and wealth management services. John works on the business banking side, and there is a lot of room on that side of the house for cross-sell and upsell across a wide variety of business banking services. So interesting that, within the Comerica space, clients have options for checking, lending, leasing, credit card, treasury management, international services, cash management, insurance, capital markets, and also a wide variety of industry-specific solutions. So John's going to share with us some of the objectives that he faces and the challenges as well around cross-sell and upsell and how he's partnered with D&B's analytics team to make some significant progress. So during those 30 minutes, as we're listening to Prachi and John, if you have any questions, there is a feature called Questions from Audience. You'll see that on the right side of your screen. Feel free to enter your question in that space, and we're going to save the last 10 minutes of the webinar today for a Q&A. Also, I wanted to mention that the session is being recorded, and for all those on the phone, you will receive a link to the recording once the session is over. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Prachi.
Thanks, Sue. Hello, everyone. Really great to have you all here with us today. As Sue mentioned, I lead the analytic consulting practice for Dun & Bradstreet, focusing on financial services and government verticals. In terms of background, I've been a data and analytics practitioner for over 17 years now. Have had the luxury to work across various business functions, be it risk, marketing, fraud, operations, etc. But overall, analytics is my passion. And I'm excited to share how we have used analytics to drive marketing optimization and sales acceleration for our customers. So let's dive right in. In terms of agenda, very briefly, we'll go through a quick view on what are some of the marketing challenges the industry is facing today and how analytics has helped drive optimization. go a little bit deeper into an intelligent targeting approach that D&B has successfully used to drive results, and then hear from John on how Comerica has partnered with Dun & Bradstreet to drive significant results and his experience. And as Sue mentioned towards the end, open it up for question and answers. We'll try to leave 10 minutes at the end to have a robust round of Q&A. So let's dive right in. So today, marketers face a lot of challenges, all the way from driving efficacy of marketing leads to demonstrating ROI on your marketing efforts, or most recently, spending massive amounts of their marketing dollars trying to figure out how best to utilize the new digital channels and social media channels to drive growth. But really, if you step back and think about and question what has really changed over the last few years that this has become such a big challenge, you will see that it is largely due to three reasons. One, with the evolution of internet and mobile, competition has grown exponentially. So it is not just about how do you target the right prospects at the right time, but it is more about how do you get ahead of your competition. Two, due to growing competition and pressure on the bottom line, we are all dealing with limited and often shrinking budgets. But at the same time, there is no relief on growth targets. So this concept of doing more with less is becoming very important. Three, if we all put our consumer hats on, you will see that our attention span has become very narrow, right? A lot of the marketing material that I receive in mail, for example, does not even reach my kitchen countertop. It goes directly into junk as soon as I get the mail out of my mailbox. And I'm sure we are all in the same situation. So if you apply that, really what is happening today is marketers need to be extremely focused in grabbing attention by ensuring that they're reaching out to these right prospects with a very relevant and personalized message at the right time via the right channel. So the complexity of driving efficacy, is becoming very important. And this is where analytics comes in, right? As I work with marketing organizations across various verticals and customer base, I often say marketing is not new. Neither are any of the marketing concepts the right business for the right message at the right time. Those have been around for a very long time. But really what is new is our ability to use analytics and churn massive amounts of historical data, real-time behavioral signals to pinpoint high-value prospects with precision. And that is really the crux of marketing optimization and drives us or gives us the ability to drive sales acceleration. The quote from Eric Siegel in his book, Predictive Analytics, describes this the best. If sales is a needle in a haystack, analytics can make the haystack a whole lot smaller. If you think about it, what does that mean? How do you apply analytics to narrow the haystack? As you all know, Dun & Bradstreet manages the world's largest commercial repository with roughly 23 million businesses in the US and 240 million businesses worldwide. So how do you slim this universe of, let's just say within US, 23 million businesses or 23 million target universe that you can go after to say 20, 30, or 100,000 high-value prospects, depending on your capacity, for your marketing outreach without losing efficacy? This is where our intelligent targeting approach has shown tremendous value. Dun & Bradstreet's intelligent targeting approach is a logical, multidimensional segmentation solution to identify the right business for the right message at the right time. All of this with a keen eye towards speed to market and driving competitive advantage. And we do this using a suite of pre-built models and solutions designed to evaluate a business from different dimensions of future opportunity, each dimension helping you narrow the funnel. So let's look at it one by one, right? The first step is to identify product demand, right? So we are focusing on financial services here. So for financial services, this would be identifying businesses who need financing or banking products. But if you were to think about technology providers, for example, this may mean identifying businesses who may have a need for cloud platforms or security software, etc. We offer product propensity models that will help you pinpoint prospects who may have a demand for your respective product. So that helps you at least narrow the first step to say, out of this universe of 23 million businesses, who are the businesses who may have a need for my respective products and services? Next, you want to evaluate these prospects based on some kind of a value, right? With limited marketing dollars, we often do not have the luxury to reach out to the full set of prospects or our targeting universe. Using value estimation models like spend capacity and the loan value models from D&B, we can effectively narrow the pool to identify what we call as high value prospects. And that helps you drive ROI on your outreach. That not only am I going after prospects who may have a demand, but I am optimizing my ROI by reaching out to high-value prospects with a keen eye towards the upside potential or value I can drive from that. Now that we have identified high-value prospects, you still want to understand how likely are they to do business with you. And that's where our response models help further prioritize these high-value prospects based on their propensity to respond and help drive higher response rates. Now, with the first three steps, our job is not really done, right? We have identified high-value prospects with a high likelihood to respond, but we still have a challenge to determine when is the right time to reach out to them. And that's where we have utilized D&B's readiness triggers based on behavioral signals, which provide leading indicators to assess if the business is beginning to look for credit, which gives you a first mover advantage over your competition and helps drive higher close rates. There are also other assets that are available like risk knockouts, right? You want to ensure that you reach out to prospects who are likely to pass your risk screening criteria and not waste dollars on prospects who will never pass the underwriting criteria. Or from contact efficiency standpoint, if I'm working with, my portfolio is heavily weighed with multi-location businesses, I want to ensure that I'm optimizing my contacts by reaching out to the decision makers using Decision HQ capabilities that we offer. But like I said earlier, D&B's intelligent targeting is a logical multidimensional segmentation that helps you effectively narrow the funnel and identify the right business for the right message at the right time. In addition, with this layered segmentation approach, you can also enable custom treatment strategies. For example, with value estimation models, we get very precise or good insights to inform my channel distribution, right? You would want to route your high-value prospects to your telephone channel or the outbound tele team, as it is usually a more expensive channel versus your medium value prospects being targeted via low-cost channels like email or direct mail. Similarly, business growth trajectory is a very useful capability to define your messaging for portfolio marketing strategies. Like you will likely give a nurture message to a customer who is projected to have a stable trajectory versus position, upsell, cross-sell products to a business who is anticipated to grow and scale and hence will need to expand their use of your products and services, and we need to put a very value-added offer in front of them. With D&B's intelligent targeting, we offer standard pre-built models and solutions to drive speed to market while collaborating with you to further customize and evolve the product for your custom needs. Now, we also understand that you may have an existing strategy, so the layered approach provides the flexibility to integrate some or all of these dimensions that we discussed within your current strategy and helps us drive value in a step-by-step manner. With that said, I would like to turn it over to John from Comerica, where we have successfully implemented intelligent targeting and would love to hear from him, his experience and some results that Comerica has been able to drive. John?
Thank you, Prachi, and welcome everybody. Good morning. So let me just give you a little bit of an overview of where Comerica kind of enters this picture and how we chose, first of all, what our issues were, then how we began to solve some of the issues that we saw in our organization relative to the market, and how Dun & Bradstreet was able to contribute to that solving the issues. So first of all, Comerica, for those of you who are not aware, is a super regional bank, primarily in the Michigan, California, Texas, Florida marketplaces. We have a very aggressive mandate. We are actually very hyper-focused on the business to business. We are known historically as a business bank, and although we do have roughly 450 retail banking centers, we continue to focus a lot of attention on the business side. We can certainly see that the market is increasingly competitive. Not only is the explosion of fintech technology companies with banking-like products exploding and beginning to nibble away at core features of our marketplace, but the traditional players are also becoming far more aggressive in how they approach other clients, our clients, in fact. So when we kind of stepped back and said one of our, in addition to this very crowded marketplace, which makes the whole notion of prospecting ever more expensive, and that is the one weight on the scale that you have to place while you're looking at expansion opportunities with existing customers. We find that focusing more attention on the existing customers is where the biggest payoff is. However, we also discovered that we needed a bit more data in order to help expose some of these opportunities. So what we're really talking about here is an initiative. We call it the Sales Productivity Initiative. It is, as I said, focused exclusively on expansion of existing customer relationships. And the premise that we went into this is a a feeling, and I'm sure many of you share it, and some more poignantly than others, depending upon the particular industry that you're in. But you have relationship managers who, for a variety of reasons, may be reluctant to turn back to a favored customer for incremental product sales. Why? Well, the reasons could vary. It could be, I don't want anybody else mucking with this fantastic relationship that I have. It could be, the customer, my feeling is that we shouldn't be in front of the customer with any other products. We're going to just exclusively focus on the one product that I sold. So really what this helps expose is a cultural problem or a cultural challenge. So it's not so much can we achieve lift or incremental revenue. Yes, those are important features, but is there a program that we can utilize, a data-informed program, to help begin a cultural change within the organization so that relationship managers see the benefit of working more collaboratively, bringing in product partners, as an example, to help share the burden of outreach to customers, to expose those customers to new areas. So that's the way we looked at it. We looked at it, we need to foster a customer and a cultural revolution in how we're dealing with that. Did we see revenue opportunities? Absolutely. In the tens of millions of dollars. So the challenge then became utilizing data, and we strongly used D&B data, the propensity models. We also added, of course, our transaction data. And the whole design of the project was to create a tool that would allow our relationship managers to see the many different opportunities that they might not have otherwise realized existed inside their customer. And we did it by the propensity models, showing them here are other product areas that you can examine with your client. Also, we did it with benchmarking. Companies that are in the top 75% of this segment with your industry, similar sales size, have this kind of financial need. And our customer right now is a percentage of that, a deficient percentage of that. Then we put that tool, the other key thing was taking the next product recommendations and the insights that we gained and putting that in front of the relationship managers together with the product specialist. So we created first a training regimen where we helped them understand the tool, how we created the data points, the value proposition that was exposed by that data. Then we forced a conversation. We put them in the room and had 20-minute, it was kind of like speed dating, where they went around the room to a particular product specialist where that product was highlighted in their customer portfolio through our tool, and asked at the end of that they basically highlight the opportunities that they wanted to work on going forward. So we utilize that process to actually build commitment sheets that now we can use those, and it serves really as a planning device for the relationship managers to help encourage them to expand their control, their collaboration by utilizing product specialists and kind of stepping back up to helping really manage at a top level the relationship aspects of their customer. So you can imagine a lot of bankers operated out of that little black book of who their key contacts were, what their key product was. It's always a loan. Now we're helping highlight what those products, incremental products are that their customer it really is very, very likely to need. And that's again exposed by the D&B propensity models. And that has become, and we're in the middle right now of we finished the pilot, great results. We can see immediate sales impact. The real impact, though, is when we start looking at opportunities. Suddenly we are looking at hundreds of incremental opportunities that are now in front of the entire leadership and sales and marketing teams in the company that were simply not there before. And that's been the primary benefit that we see out of the program, and we'll continue to train to that and continue to promote exposing the opportunities through data and then helping relationship managers understand how they can utilize that data. So what's next for us? What's next is we really want to take a look at that other expensive area that we can't ignore, and that is prospecting. And what we'll do is actually continue to expand the sales productivity program to include more product, and we'll also continue to take the same sales process and push it farther down into the business banking, community banking segments of our market. It may not have as many products that a larger client is going to be exposed to, but it's the process that we can see where we already have demonstrated success of helping that relationship manager suddenly start to think of themselves as a team leader, managing a whole group of people, putting them in front of their customer, achieving a lot more sales success by adopting that approach. So in addition to the sales productivity, we will be expanding, utilizing D&B tools to help identify prospects who look like our best customers. And we have a whole stack of initiatives geared up to address that part. And I guess the other thing, and this has been kind of a mantra of mine as long as I've been in marketing, and I'm not going to tell you how long it is other than to say it covers multiple decades, and that is moving ever closer to one-to-one marketing, where we utilize data to have a one-to-one conversation with a customer and a prospect, so that what they're hearing is a reflection of what they have told us, what they're telling us through market signals, such as some of the features that Dun & Bradstreet has, and responding to them, reflecting what they're signaling and telling us in the marketplace, in a one-to-one way. Wow. To me, that really is the start of the point where you're having actually a conversation with the customer that actually makes sense. It is no longer this disjointed, pure product promotion kind of communication one way, but it's rather taking in the signals input, combining it with the tools that D&B and that we've also developed, and converting that into a communication program that responds to their needs, and we've seen demonstrable sales impact on it. We're very excited. So thank you very much. Prachi?
Thanks, John. There's nothing like hearing from your peers on the journey that they are on. So thank you so much for sharing your experience and highlighting really the opportunities that Comerica was able to uncover through this journey. I think one of the important points that I wanted to highlight for our audience here, marketing optimization is a journey. And our ability to drive that in a step-by-step way, demonstrating value at every step, is crucial to drive that cultural shift. I think all of us are experiencing that, where organizations are transforming on their journey of this data-driven, analytic-driven insights and driving optimization across their business strategies. And I think you hit on a very important point of how you can do this in a step-by-step manner and drive that cultural shift in the organization. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think just to wrap up the conversation, I would reiterate the experience that Comerica has seen. We have at Dun & Bradstreet successfully applied intelligent targeting and custom analytic methodologies across many customers to solve their specific marketing challenges and driven powerful results. You'll see some of the numbers stated on the slide here, but all the way from driving or increasing targeting efficiency, driving higher conversion rates, and overall sales acceleration, analytics can and has proven success. I look forward to engaging further with all of you, utilizing and being on this journey within your organization, using analytics to drive marketing optimization. So with that, I would like to open the forum up for question and answers. Sue?
Thank you, Prachi. And we have had a couple of questions come in during the presentation. So the first one, John, is for you, if you don't mind. And hopefully you're off mute so we can hear you. It's about the pilot. So you mentioned that at the beginning you created a pilot. The pilot was successful. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Was that a specific region that you piloted in or a specific channel? And were there some measurable outcomes of that pilot that kind of got everybody excited to move forward?
Yeah, we wrestled with the idea of making the pilot geographically diverse, but ended up focusing on a particular geographic area, an MSA within that geographic area, so that we could, and that turned out to be a better thing. It made the training more cohesive. There was a lot of cross-chatter amongst friends in the relationship manager community, where they could share their feedback, their experiences, get questions answered. So it looked like a class size where the class had been together on more than one occasion. So that worked out well for us. What were the attributes of success? So I know everybody wants to focus on ROI and the return on investment. We knew it would be there. We could see, and we had a consultant come in to help uncover what the prospective revenue opportunities were. That if we were able to simply change our sales methodology and reach out to customers that our customers showed they were benchmarking lower than the benchmark metrics that our consultant team helped put together for us. So we knew the opportunity was there. How could we measure success for the pilot? It was the number of opportunities that got entered into the sales management system. It suddenly skyrocketed compared to the previous periods. That was the primary goal.
Yeah, driving pipeline will always end up in incremental revenue, higher close rates. So you're right, it all starts with qualifying a lead and getting new opportunities into the pipeline. So makes sense. One question has come in as you were talking. Can you elaborate a little bit more on your benchmarking process?
Oh, on the benchmarking process. Okay, so we put together a set of data where we utilized our consultant and basically utilized some third-party information together with Dun & Bradstreet data to construct an index. So every one of our customers, we knew the industry they were in and what size company they were. We wanted to see what other companies, and particularly other financial companies, were experiencing with those kinds of companies. So we relied on the consultant to develop a little bit of the actual benchmarking data, i.e. what percentage of a company's revenues are spent in treasury management versus straight up loan kind of thing. If this company looked like it should be engaging in a lot of foreign trade, did we see foreign exchange opportunities similar to what other companies in that industry saw? So it was a real collaborative effort between providing the data, providing the D&B data, having the consultant also apply a third set of data and actually make the tool come to life.
Yeah, and that's a very practical example of taking some of D&B's intelligent targeting assets and doing some profiling and benchmarking to say, hey, this business has the characteristics of somebody that would have high product propensity, a high level of readiness, need products across a wider suite than what they're currently buying, and that might put them in a category where the upside is extremely high. So good answer, and appreciate the detail around bringing together consultant, D&B data, and then D&B analytics and other third-party data. Another question came into the queue, and it's around the cultural changes. So you mentioned that, and like many of us experience, people like to do things the old way, right? So this is getting salespeople, sales leaders on board. Really appreciated the detail that you shared around kind of bringing your product specialists and sales folks together in the training regimen, the speed dating exercise, and coming up with commitment sheets. So did you have some early adopters on the sales side? Did they help you through this cultural challenge that you were having, or can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Oh, absolutely. You know, if you just go back to the classroom analogy, you always have a group of folks sitting up at the front of the class, you know, throwing their hands up in the air and, you know, with enthusiasm, adopting the program, the methodology that the teacher is trying to promote. And we certainly found that helped. We had people who were keenly interested in learning more about their customers. And you know what, a significant percentage of those, I would say, were new relationship managers who knew they lacked intimate knowledge of their customer, and so highly valued this incremental insights. But then there were another key group of relationship managers who really saw this as a benefit to really accelerate their already ramped up sales efforts, and they just stepped out to the front and said, "Wow, this is such a great accelerator," and fully adopted it. And there's definitely laggards that we are working with, and it's very common in any classroom situation. So that's helped us identify people we need to spend more time on, need to help them understand the whole data process. And it also points out weaknesses that we've had in some areas of our company where the product people participating directly with the relationship manager has not been strong. So this was a great way to say, aha, here's a bit of a weakness, so we need to focus more attention on helping RMs see the value of these product specialists.
Yeah, nothing like promoting, you know, in a peer-to-peer way, those that are taking advantage of new tools and new resources, and you know, enjoying, quite honestly, higher sales and I'm sure higher commissions at the end of the day. So wonderful.
Higher commissions, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We're going to end our Q&A session here, and just as a reminder, you all on the phone will get a copy of this recorded session. So if you'd like to share it with your peers, with others in your organization, feel free to do so. And we welcome any feedback that you may have about this session or future sessions that you would like to see D&B host. So thank you very much to Prachi and John, and we wish all of you a great rest of the day and rest of the week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.